Hi, Dale Tice here with today's 2-minute bass lesson. I received a fantastic email from a player who's wondering what exercises and warm-ups should they do before they even play the bass to ensure that they're warmed up and they're not going to hurt themselves. And that's a fantastic question. As I mentioned in previous lessons, I was a teacher at Musicians Institute's Bass Institute of Technology. And when I was down there, I was able to get in contact with some of the best chiropractors and medical professionals who deal with musicians' hand health and overall fitness. And I learned a lot from them. And there are some things you can do before you play. And this is even, it's always important, but more important during the winter months when it's colder, because we a lot of times think of bass playing as our fingers and our hands, but it's really, since the instruments are a little heavier and usually we're performing standing up, it involves our shoulders and our neck, our back, and so there's a lot of things you can do to actually protect yourself and have a better performance experience. So I'm going to take the bass off to kind of show you what we're talking about. Now, a couple of hand exercises that I do like. They're simple, and nothing should be done like aggressively and like violently. Everything's got to be done warmed up. I also want to recommend a book by Dr. Randall Kurtz, and it's basically the title escapes me because it's so long. But if you look on Amazon or search online for Dr. Randall Kurtz, K-E-R-T-Z. He wrote a book that was featured in Bass Player magazine, and he's not only a great bass player and a graduate of Musicians Institute, but he's also a leading chiropractic doctor in America. And he wrote this book, and it has some good exercises. Now, some that I learned and that I use are simple. One is just rolling your wrists. Now, you don't want to make a tight fist. I just kind of curl my fingers up, but I'm not making a tight fist, and I'm just really gently rolling my wrists, because that's where I feel a lot of tension before I play. And I do simple things like open my fingers wide, close my hand, open my fingers, close my hands. There's a great exercise that I learned from Stuart Hamm, and I guess he learned it from Carol Kaye. But you bring down your index finger and your ring finger, and you put your thumb on it. And then you switch that, and you put your middle finger and pinky down, and you do this thing where you isolate it. And not only is it kind of a coordination exercise, but it does feel good. It stretches parts of of your hand. It feels really excellent. Another thing I like to do, and I'm not trying to pop my knuckles here. I know that's kind of taboo in some people's minds. But I put my fingers together. I lace my fingers together, and I keep my thumbs down, and I push out. Now, when I'm pushing out all the way out where you can see I kind of bow my shoulders forward, and I feel it across my back, and then I invert it. And I put my thumbs out. Again, nothing violent, nothing tough, just kind of a stretch. I also do simple things like I'll raise this arm up, pull the elbow, and just kind of stretch to my side a little bit, and you'll feel it all down here. And I do the opposite. Simple things like lightly shaking your hands. Now, sometimes I'll be fortunate enough to see a band setting up or warming up, and I'll see the guitarists and bass players just shaking their hands violently. And I don't think anything should be done violently in regards to warming up. Everything should be relaxed and slow, and keep your hands loose, So exercises like that help. Now, another thing I heard guys doing, which I think is really smart, is either paying for a visit to a chiropractor, or they're seeing their primary care physician, and seeing what exercise they would recommend. It's just smart, to get it from a leading medical professional. The other is if you join a gym, a lot of times you can hire a physical trainer and ask them stretching and warm exercise. Especially like for myself, I have neck problems, all those years of head banging, and so I did that and was able to get some really good physical therapy exercises to make sure I loosen my neck. What a great question, because a lot of times we focus on our musician's life with the instrument in our hands, and sometimes there's things that need to be done before and after to make sure that we have a great playing experience and also a sustained musical career. So these are some simple exercises that'll help you warm up. I hope you get into them. And if you actually, and I've always said this, if you have other exercises that you like, videotape them and then send me the link, and I'll post them on our Facebook pages and and definitely reference them on our YouTube channel, because we are a bass community and we should just definitely share these ideas. The big caveat, the big warning is always consult your own doctor or a medical professional that you trust, and find out if you have specific needs or concerns that would bar you from doing any of the exercises I showed you today. Alright, well, there you go. Warming up before you're playing is absolutely key, and I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, please email me at dalet@danabygoods.com. Thanks for stopping by.